We are live. You are watching a Wise Coffee Chat show, and this is Jennifer Sanchez. So, welcome. How are you, Scott?
I'm great.
So, I need someone to pay attention over here also to make sure that the station is one that is okay. So, Scott, we're gonna try this. I know we're right next to the lake recording. So we're gonna try to see how this goes and by the lakefront and see if we can make this work live. So my name is Jennifer Sanchez. For long, you're watching the Wise Coffee Chat show. And we're about to go to wisealliancenetwork.com. Hopefully all of this works out and we could get a whole show through. So Scott, tell us a little bit about what is going on here. Where are we at right now?
Oh, we're at the Harley Clark Mansion in Evanston, Illinois. This building was built in 1927.
Mhm.
And, it's been a variety of uses. Certainly, Harley Clark lived here for a long time, but for a while it was a fraternity house and it was an artist's place where people could take classes and learn how to and really wasn't used for much. And there were a number of folks that tried to do something really, really amazing here, but had a hard time doing it because they didn't have the expertise how to
Mhm.
restore a building like this. And so we came along and right away we kind of saw the vision of what it could be. And this is the type of project that we do all the time. So we're excited to take this and turn it into something mind-blowing.
Nice. So tell us a little bit about your story. Like, how did you, get into this whole arena of development in general?
Wow, it's such a long story. I'll try and make it concise and interesting. I'm an architect by training, so I love old buildings, but really the reason I got into it was sort of by accident. I always wanted to be a developer. Didn't know anything about finance. Went to work for a big bank and kind of learned that side of the equation and learned how to finance these kinds of projects using tax credits. And I discovered a lot of unique resources available for saving historic buildings.
Oh, cool.
So in addition to really loving bringing these buildings back, I found out a really unique financial way to do it in a way that you can't do with new construction.
Really? So, how many homes have you revamped or rehabbed or historical homes, right? Because that's what you focus in on.
So we really don't do homes. We do a lot of developers you'll hear say a bigger deal is a better deal
Okay.
because it's the same amount of work to do a small deal as a big deal.
Really?
Big deals are more it's easier to finance.
Okay.
So really haven't done any homes. This, I guess you could call this a home.
I mean, I know it's like a mansion, right? So there's a
Yeah.
history behind this mansion. I actually came with one of my mentors, and we went and took a tour of the lighthouse, and
Yep.
we kind of. But I don't know too much history of this in itself.
Rich history before it was a mansion. This was a special place for the indigenous population here.
Oh, really?
So really fascinating, and a lot of that is out in the grounds right now that we'll be working to restore and celebrate. Um, so I would say though, to answer your question, most of my projects are big historic schools, hospitals,
Okay.
sky high rises downtown, historic
Okay.
buildings. This is on the grand scheme of thing one of our smaller projects.
Wow, this is a smaller project. So I wonder how you said skyscrapers, right? You worked on. So you're into architecture. What led you into that specifically? What was your passion behind that?
Boy, you're asking my origin story.
Yeah.
Well, it started in fifth grade
Yeah.
where I was at home on a rainy day drawing an underwater city. And I asked my mom, well, what is the name of the person that does this when they grow up? And my mom said, an architect. And I said, that's what I want to be when I grow up.
Oh, wow. So fifth grade, you knew that that's what you wanted to do, and that's what you're doing now. You told me when we were coming in and kind of setting up, you told me something a little bit about the symbol that we're wearing on our hat. What is the symbol that we're wearing?
tell you what, when you really get into our branding, and there's a lot to it, there's a lot of history and symbolism in the house that comes through. So if it's here as well, the main entry of the building, we have this incredible foyer with a spiral staircase, and at the end of the banister, it does this little curl, and that's the shape that we kind of replicated in our logo. It's such an iconic uh, element, but there's thousands of those in this house that we'll celebrate.
Wow. So a little bit about the house in itself. What is it that we are what are you going to be doing here, right? It's an event space, right? You said something else about a speakeasy. Did I hear that? So
That's right. So I'm really an affordable housing developer.
okay.
That's kind of where I come from, and I happen to do also really beautiful historic buildings. Um, but because I'm an affordable housing developer, the community is in my DNA. So a lot of what we're doing here, yes, we're going to do weddings, yes, we're going to have events, but we're involving the community.
Okay.
Our ice cream operator
Yeah.
is a local ice cream vendor. We have the Evanston Latinos that they have a big need for a commercial kitchen that will allow them to
Oh
use for
wow.
training and for their activities. Super, super, super important to make sure that the community is represented and the community can use the space. Yes, we're going to have fantastic, mind blowing events here, but this will also be a place for the people that live in Evanston.
That's awesome. And I think that we met you at the ice cream social, right? That's exactly where I first met you, right?
So our ice cream was there. We had a fish boil. We had some of our
Yes.
proprietary beer. Um, you know, and that was just a snapshot of what this place will be. It's yeah. So
That's awesome. So you have the event. Actually, we went to the event, and one of your vendors, that's going to be a coffee vendor
mhm.
here, was actually on our show some months ago, earlier this summer. So you're also bringing in businesses that are from the community to be part of this. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So Jesse is a good friend. We have another project in the Back of the Arts neighborhood where we helped him open up a coffee shop um, and built it into the project so that he was able, at a very low cost, to be able to have this beautiful space rent free, and really helped him kind of come up and be successful. And to the extent that we have other projects, you know, he's such a great partner. We always want to involve him in other things that we do. And I asked him if he had interest in being part of this, and it was
A no-brainer.
enthusiastic yes. Um,
So you helped also with that new location that's on 47th and
that's right.
California. Is it California or Western?
Ashland.
Ashland. Yeah, it's a great space. I love it. I was there. We checked it out. I mean, it was awesome, and it's really big actually. That coffee shop.
It's really big. You know, the project covered all the costs. He doesn't have to pay rent. We also have a bakery there,
Yes, he
a
did
barber
say.
shop.
Yes, I did see that because it's the whole building, right? From
It's a whole building.
it's a whole block. So, are you a Chicago native?
I am. I was born in Roseland.
Really?
Yeah, and as was my mother, and you know that's a whole other topic. But Roseland has had some tough times, and it's my personal goal to be part of their comeback story. So we bought the West Pullman Elementary School and
Yeah.
converted it into senior housing.
Wow.
We were just awarded the Hotel Florence, which is a historic hotel across the street from the Pullman National Monument, and
Nice.
so we'll be bringing that back to life. So
Yes.
there's a lot of great investment going on in that community, and we're just happy to be part of it.
Yeah, I know I did a video on the West Pullman project over there, so I thought that was really nice to kind of like seeing all the historical. What was it, like a hotel, and it was a place where people would stay that were on the railroads,
Yes,
right? And then they
yes.
made a coffee shop there. See, so I'm like a coffee, like I'm an adventure person. Right? I like to explore different areas, different neighborhoods. So I did a whole video on that too. So that was kind of fun.
That project's going to be awesome. You know, the Pullman factory across the street,
Yeah,
that's part of what we're doing. We'll end up doing basically the salt shed of the South Side. It'll be a
that's
music venue space. It's going to it's going to be awesome.
That's gonna be a lot of fun. So like
Yeah.
the salt shed that's where is that at? On Milwaukee Avenue? Is it Clybourne? I don't remember
Yeah.
the area where the north on the north side.
That's right. Kind of West Town area.
Yeah, West
Yeah.
Town area. Okay. So you're taking on this project. How long is this project going to take?
So we have an amazing team that we work with again and again and again. We all know each other.
Yeah,
So it starts with a great team. Uh, S-
absolutely.
and Skender Constructions, our DC, they do most of our complicated historic adaptive reuse projects. We'll
Okay.
get this done in 12 months.
That's wonderful. So you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back after this brief break, and we're going to get to know more about Scott and some of his friends that are here as well.
A loved one owns a gun, and for a while now, you've been concerned about their behavior. They're just not acting like themselves. They've been distant, they've been unpredictable, they've been lashing out. They've been saying things that make you worried they might harm themselves or friends or family. Or you're worried this loved one might hurt you. Maybe they recently threatened someone with their gun. You know something needs to be done, and you wish more than anything you could hit pause on this situation. Well, here in Illinois, you can, with a firearm restraining order. In extreme cases, this order temporarily prevents a person in crisis from having a firearm, giving them time to heal before they do something dangerous or even deadly. If you are worried about a loved one in crisis who has access to a firearm, learn more about firearm restraining orders at illinois.gov/pause to heal. A public service announcement brought to you by the Illinois Department of Public Health, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Looking for a spotless clean you can count on? Meet Clean King, your local family-owned janitorial service that treats every client like royalty. Fully insured and trusted by businesses across the area, Clean King delivers personalized, top-quality cleaning tailored to your needs at the best price in town. Call now for your free quote at 224-276-6057. That's 224-276-6057. Or visit them at cleankingcleaning.com. That's Clean King, where your quality and service reign supreme. A proud member of the Elgin Area Chamber of Commerce, supporting the local business community.
For a little lighthearted lawlessness on Sunday afternoons, listen to Handle on the Law from 4 to 7 p.m. Handle on the Law is a unique combination of useful legal advice and outrageous Handle remarks. Whether you're talking about Big Brother, big business, big legal problems, or Big Macs, you'll rarely find Bill without an opinion. His rapid-fire commentary gives listeners the information they crave in the way they crave it. It's Handle on the Law, Sunday afternoons from 4 to 7 p.m. right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. If you're struggling with mental health, you should know that there are resources out there that can help. And it's okay to talk about it if you need to. One place to get started with information is loveyourmindtoday.org. Loveyourmindtoday.org offers a range of guides, instructions, and insights for dealing with difficult situations or getting through a tough time. If you're struggling with mental health, get the help you need, because most people out here really care. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
We are back and live with two friends of the Harley Clark Mansion, right? Is that the right thing that we should say? Okay, so we have Jennifer here and Kira, right? I did say it right, yay! And they are actually going to share a little bit of information of why this was saved. This location was saved. So who would like to go first and just share a little bit about the history of this mansion?
Sure. Harley Clark has always been a really special place in Evanston. It's
Okay.
located on Lighthouse Beach, which is the most popular beach in Evanston. It's next to a true lighthouse. So it's just such a beautiful area. And in recent history, it was the home of the Evanston Art Center. I believe for 40 years. I actually
Wow.
had the honor of taking classes here, ceramic classes, but they really provided all kinds of
Really?
classes in fine arts and applied arts, photography. And yet we hit an era where the mansion was in danger of being demolished.
Really?
The art center moved out, and so citizens, residents of Evanston, really rallied together, and we
Really?
actually the city council was pretty far along in their votes to demolish this wonderful house. So citizens, as I said, came together and created a ballot referendum. And it was such a pleasure to see 80% of residents vote, yes, we would like to save the mansion. And so it
Wow.
actually changed the course of the votes, and the mansion was saved.
Wow.
And
That's
it's
super
really our
cool.
true pleasure to have Scott Henry and his vision here for Harley Clark. It's everything we imagined could be possible here.
Yeah.
A beautiful mansion that wasn't just a bundle of bricks. It's really a beautiful, important place that can now be revitalized. And the fact that he can find $29 million to invest in it and have
Wow.
fantastic uses here, from an event space to a speakeasy bar to a C&W is a local restaurant, parlor, ice cream parlor. They'll have space here, and it's just an exciting place for the community. But it's not being used for events such as weddings. It's going to be a tax base for weddings. Lake
You're right next to the lake, like literally. Right. The lake is a couple feet away.
We are we're right next to the lake, and this house was actually the last building in Evanston on the lake that that we wrote the referendum back in 2018. We felt very strong that this house would stay in the public domain, owned by the city of Evanston.
Sure.
So we
Wow.
that is public, and so come in and allows that. And for us, that's
Yeah.
meaningful. And I think 1,000 plus, and which was 81% of the vote yes, will be extraordinary.
Are you the rest of us too? Yes?
We're lifelong residents of
Nice.
Evanston.
And you were using the space prior, right? Like this was something that was already very involved in the community, it sounds like.
I grew up taking classes in this house. I shouldn't admit it, but I've
Oh, wow.
slid down that banister when I was a little girl.
I want to slide down that banister. I'm
know.
just saying, it looks cool.
Kira, I mean, I grew up, from the time I was a baby coming to this house.
Wow.
And I have 4 children. They've grown up coming to this house. My mother spent time in this house and took classes in this house. It's, we've all, anyone I know in Evanston has done something in this house.
Wow.
And I'll say too that just the structure of it and the beauty and the architecture, almost every day you see people who've stopped their cars and they're kind of standing
Oh
there
my
trying
God,
to
it's
figure out
yeah,
exactly
it's
what this
beautiful.
is.
Yeah.
It's just an obvious architectural jewel here. And it's wonderful again to see Scott Henry come in and really restore it to its splendor, and his intentional, recognition of these beautiful details, like even the
Yeah.
logos, is the banister, it's just
Yeah.
in your heart, going to be, not to mention the uses that are going to draw people to Evanston, as
Oh,
we talked
for
about.
sure. I mean, it's already beautiful enough with the beaches, and then you have Northwestern, right? The university, and you have all this great stuff over here. Now to add this, so it's funny because me and actually my mentor, my spiritual mom over there, we were just kind of like hiking around looking for spaces just to kind of go venture off and look. Literally, the day that you had that boil, right, was the day that we were here, kind of checking out the lighthouse and just looking at the architecture, and then it was just like, then it just led to another thing. It was like, oh well, let's bring you on the show and let's learn more about the mansion. Let's see if we get in here, and find out more. So I'm excited that you guys are doing what you're doing, and the fact that you guys are community members and you guys are like, no, we don't want to lose this space, because they wanted to tear it down, correct?
Yes, they were very close actually. So it's so gratifying. It wasn't at the time, but just to work, have so many community members come forward and really galvanized to save something that we love about the community. And then again, to see what its next life is going to be, which is like really beyond what we could have imagined. It was everything we hoped for and more.
For
So, and then also the Jens Jensen elements. I don't know if you want to talk about that. The grotto outside and the peace circle.
So, well, two things. One, before I forget, this house actually won one of the first City of Evanston Arts Award from Thomas Talmadge. And when you were talking about how beautiful the house is, I think that's something, in 1928, it received this beautiful award for just how extraordinary it is, which I think is big. The Jensen Garden, so Jens Jensen, who's known as the sprinkler of gardens, designed this garden. Alfred Caldwell actually was the foreman. He was a young man, and he was he did the work and had to tear it up when it was wrong. We actually have a contemporaneous house built from Harley's wife, so we know kind of how things were built. But Scott and Celadon have engaged with Jens Jensen Gardens of Evanston, which formerly was part of Friends of Harley Clark, and they're restoring all of the gardens back to their original plans, including the grotto, which I'm not sure if you guys have seen, but it's kind of a waterfall and beautiful rock, and it's very similar.
Oh, it's very nice, yeah, on the
the one in
outside.
Lincoln Park that Caldwell is very famous for. So we're really grateful for that, because restoring something back to that, could easily slip away into the abyss, right? Very quickly. So the council circle. Do you
Oh,
want to talk
I
about it?
saw that. It's something that was indigenous, right?
So the Jens Jensen Circle, so the council circle actually was built by Jens Jensen, but it actually has meaning back to the indigenous people. We are sitting on Potawatomi land, and just where I live, about a block and a half up, was a chipping station, but this is Potawatomi land. And a council circle is all about democracy and people being equal and sitting around a circle and being able to talk together. And that is why Harley put it in there. And so we have one here, and some people call it a fire pit, but it's really the ability to all sit around and talk together and be equal.
It's fun to roast marshmallows and have s'mores. And there's
Oh,
been many, children's birthday parties out there, or adults.
Really?
You have the view of the lake.
Oh,
in
it
the
looks
evening,
great.
roasting
Yeah.
marshmallows, and this is just a very nice setting. Yeah.
It's very hidden too. Not a lot of people are gonna know about this unless, right? Like you said, you're driving by, and you're like, "Whoa, what is that?" Right? And then to really come out and actually walk through it, right? We had to walk through it to really kind of figure everything out here. So, and you guys are a 501c3, correct? So, what made you want to go into that nonprofit route?
Well, we wanted to, before Scott came along, we just wanted to be here for the building, just because, again, we saved it from demolition, but it was...
All right, guys, we'll be right back after this short break, so stay tuned.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRM in Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Centos. A Naperville man has been found guilty of first-degree murder in the beating death of his wife. 61-year-old Alan Wang was convicted after a 4-day trial for the 2020 murder. Police were called to the couple's home on March 8, 2020, just before 5 p.m. for a report that a woman had been found who was not breathing. 35-year-old Hung Yan Yang was taken to a nearby hospital where she was pronounced dead. The Will County Sheriff's Office is is asking for the public's help in locating 24-year-old Haley Perino, who was reported missing and endangered from her residence in the 19100 block of South Richard Avenue in Mokina. Perino was last seen in the early afternoon Thursday. She's described as a white female, 5'1", weighing 150 pounds, with brown hair, gray eyes, and an unknown tattoo on her left forearm. If you see Perino or have any information about her whereabouts, please call 911 immediately. A new Larkin High School football stadium has gotten a nod from the Elgin City Council. The 2,250-seat stadium would allow Larkin's football team to host Friday night games under the lights on its own campus for the first time in the school's 63-year history. The Daily Herald reports the Elgin Area School District U46 school currently plays home football games at rival Elgin High School's Memorial Field, located about 4 miles away. The new $11.8 million complex will be built in the same location as an existing field. It will feature a modern stadium with a turf field for football, soccer, and other sports, as well as a high-performance track. A man was taken into custody Thursday morning after police say he smashed the window of a moving vehicle as a crowd gathered around federal officers on an Aurora street. Aurora police were dispatched at 10:26 a.m. for a disturbance in the vicinity of New York Street and North Madison Street. There, a large crowd was gathered around federal officers in the road. Police stayed in the area to monitor and ensure the situation did not escalate, but tensions rose, leading to the man breaking the window. Police say he was taken into custody to prevent further violence or property damage. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
As a fan, you know all the important sports cliches. And when you save money by bundling your home and auto with Progressive, you can get out there and give it 110%, even though that's mathematically impossible. And remember, failure is not an option. Well, it's always an option, just not a good one. But you're not worried because you've got ice in your veins. You're on fire. How can both of those things be true at the same time? Well, that's between you and your doctor. So get out there and leave it all on the field. Leave what? Who cares? Just leave it and save with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates, other insurers, not available in all states or situations.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to handle the busy holiday season, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Are you dreaming of a getaway? Want to leave the stress of daily life behind? Whether it's a relaxing cruise or an adventurous land escape, planning the perfect vacation doesn't have to be a hassle. At Cruises International, they specialize in vacation destinations, land and sea, making your dreams come true. Located at 1721 Moon Lake Boulevard in Hoffman Estates, Cruises International isn't just about booking travel. They're your personal concierge, trusted travel advisor, and advocate. Your preferences are unique, and they'll take the time to understand exactly what you're looking for. From personalized service to their global network of specialists, they ensure that your vacation is tailor-made just for you. It's time to plan the vacation of a lifetime. Call 800-255-7447. That's 800-255-7447 today and speak to a cruise and vacation expert. Cruises International. It's time to set sail to your dream destination.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. Today, mostly cloudy with a high near 70 and a chance of rain showers before 2 p.m. This afternoon, temperatures will fall to around 68. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 52. Looking ahead to tomorrow, partly sunny with a high near 70. Currently, it is 64 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-791-1313. 800-791-1313.
There we go. We are back. So super excited that this is functioning the best that it can. And thank you for WRMN 1410. You're listening to WRMN 1410 and also the Wise Coffee Chat Show. and we were just chatting with Jennifer, who's friends with Harvey Clark, right? And then also Scott. So, Scott, we have you back here with us. So, what are your plans, for the future? What are we looking at as time length that this project's going to take?
Well, right now we're going through the zoning process and getting all the historic approvals, but we expect that we'll start construction in the first quarter 2026.
Okay.
And we do these projects all the time. It'll take about 12 months and we'll be open for business in the first quarter 2027 for the building's 100-year anniversary since
wow.
this building was built in 1927.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. So, you guys timed it out just in time, right, to take over?
There are so many things about this project that make it feel like fate. And from the roof tile
Okay.
actually being manufactured by a company called Celadon, which is the name of our company. So,
Oh, wow.
how random is that?
That is random.
And the grotto that Jennifer mentioned being supervised by Alfred Caldwell, I actually had him as a professor for my brick semester at IIT.
Wow.
So there's so many intersections where it just feels like it
Like
was.
you're meant to take on this project.
That's right.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I could now that after you were telling me about the art, now I could see like there's paint on the walls. I'm like, there must have been an art class in here, right? Like you could tell the details in here, and there's so much history. So what are the future plans outside of this building for your company?
Outside of this
Of
building?
the mansion, yeah.
Well, I'd like to talk maybe a little bit more about this mansion and what we have planned.
Sure.
So I've been doing this a long, long time, and I've assembled a really great team, and they know how to really take on these projects. I think the thing that I'm most excited about with this project
Yes.
is I get to be full-time visionary. Like one of my, I am the CEO, but if you look at my job description, it's really visionary, and I get to really dream up all these amazing ideas. Most of them are good, some of them are not so good. I've got trusted people to tell me when the not so good ones are not good ideas, but most of them are great ideas, and that's really that's my sweet spot, to be able to think of really unique customer experiences that we'll be able to deliver here. And it won't be like a routine. It'll be different all the time. You'll always be wondering what's going to happen at Harley Clark next weekend, and you'll want to check it out because we're going to deliver.
Oh.
So that's what I'm super excited about. In terms of other things, we're hoping that we'll be the selected developer for the Civic Center here in Evanston. We want to convert it to affordable housing.
Okay.
That's a historic building that was once a Catholic school. We're hoping to convert the Sacred Heart Convent in Wilmette into assisted living. That's another historic building. We are working on a historic school in Collinsville, Illinois. We already have the tax credits lined up and all the financing, so that'll be a multifamily building. All kinds of really, for that project in particular, because it was a school and has a huge gymnasium. We're able to bring in one of our community partners, the YMCA, to build a facility there too. So right now it's been vacant for 15 years, and once we're done, we'll be breathing new life into that whole place, and it'll not only be a great place for folks to live, but because of the YMCA, it'll attract folks from all over the place. So it's really going to do some good for the community.
Wow. So I love the fact that you're doing all these different projects. I was just curious. You said the word visionary, right? You said, I'm excited, even though I'm the CEO, I'm the visionary of this project. Can you tell us a little bit more about that, right? Because, what makes it a visionary project for you?
Well, it takes, excuse me, it takes somebody that's kind of their job to be able to come to a building like this. Building, I'll give a great that if you went to that building before we started it, you would say that building should be torn down, but it takes rub the, the scary mold that's growing on the walls and beyond the burned out ceiling to be able to see what it can be. And a lot of people don't have that ability. And I think, I can visualize a set of plans what it need to be a good developer to be able to come into what it can be.
Wow, I love that. That's what entrepreneur, right? I'm sure you are somebody watching. What advice would you give entrepreneurship? What is your 2 cents on this?
I would encourage, and I have this conversation all the time. There's all kinds of folks who really just do the finance. And you have to get an MBA. You can take a job like me with the bank and just learn that side of the equation, and then combine that financial knowledge with what you're already good at, the cream of what you do, whatever it is. Being able to combine that financial expertise with that, and then you could really, there's really no limit to what you can do. Now, this is going to be kind of a geeky thing and a nerdy thing, but I always joke about, architects are really into structural design and understanding how to do all the, the physical or the physics calculations in a beam. It is way, 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 way harder to do that than it is to calculate the return on an investment. And so all of these bean counters in the world and all these investment bankers, they talk in this black box language, and it's really not a black box. Just I would encourage those folks, take a couple classes, learn how to speak their language, and then, you can talk the talk and raise capital and fulfill your dream as an entrepreneur.
That's awesome. So what is your favorite room or space in this mansion?
Rumor space?
Room or space. What's your favorite space?
I thought you said rumor space.
Oh, no.
Because I've got a few of those.
No. No, that's another topic. Right?
So one thing that we did that was super cool, we did this really, really sophisticated scanning technology in the mansion, and we revealed some secret rooms that people didn't really know about. So that's the rumor part of it.
Oh, okay.
There's another rumor that we may have found some of our beer recipes inside the wall in the mansion, and that's the type of beer that we'll be serving here.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That makes it unique.
In terms of what my favorite room is, well, probably the basement where the speakeasy is. That's the old billiard room, and we're going to turn that into a jazz club. And we don't have to do anything to it. It's already fantastic with all the different moldings and arches and designs. It's going to be pretty spectacular.
Oh, I'm excited. We're definitely going to get a tour, right? After this, I want to check that out. Be the first one, WN. So that's the speakeasy. So you're planning also, like, it sounds like a big community event. People can come in and out. There's going to be events.
They're ecstatic. There's some folks that are worried about what a for-profit minded developer might try and do to an otherwise public building. Convince those folks. I'm convinced, though, once we're done and we bring it, even the naysayers today will be the biggest fans that we have. But by and large, the city of Evanston and the folks that live here have been super supportive. The staff at the city have been incredible to deal with.
Wonderful.
It isn't always that way in various cities, but the city of Evanston's just been fantastic.
Wow. I know you want to say something.
I was just going to say, Scott is not your typical developer. So I think that the people in Evanston that aren't necessarily on board yet will be as they get to know Celadon and Scott and realize what's happening with the mansion. I think the history of the last 10 years, the legislative history of the House has been rough, and people have a little bit of PTSD. And, quite honestly, friends of Harley Clark, 7-8 years we've been going. We were apprehensive when we first met Scott and his partners. And once we got to know them, which was very quick, we realized that they are in it for the right reasons.
Wow.
And, we couldn't be more thrilled. I mean, from the logo to taking care of the elements of the house to ensuring that um, that it's open on the 100th anniversary. Little things like that are so meaningful, and ensuring that it's true adaptive reuse and that preservation is front of mind has been huge. So in terms of the community aspect, that's where Friends of Harley Clark really comes in. And we want to be that arm to ensure that people understand this is not your typical kind of for-profit developer coming in and throwing an event space on the lake. This is Scott, who lives, just down the road, who wants the best for Evanston and wants the
Sure.
best for the house. So
Sure. So why are you guys keeping the name Harley Clark? And when it came to the branding, what made you choose the name? Why didn't you just name it something else? What was the thinking behind that?
That's a great question. It's kind of funny though, when you get to know what it is that we're doing, and when we open, you'll see it. It's actually 8 sub-brands within the top brand, which is Harley Clark. So you'll see all kinds of different names for different things that we're doing.
Okay.
Our coffee shop is called Shipwreck Coffee because
Of the
there
shipwreck.
are shipwrecks right outside the shore here. So there's all kinds of little details and histories that we're celebrating and the various offerings that we'll be providing. Harley Clark, we thought about changing the name. We thought about something with the lighthouse, and we just always came back to the name Harley Clark. Now, Harley Clark itself, if you understand the history, is a colorful individual. And some of the things he did weren't so great, right? But some of the things he did were, and I think, we're going to choose to celebrate all of it. And even the stuff that wasn't so great, we're going to have fun with it.
Sure.
So,
And Harley Clark lived in this huge place.
he sure did. So, I'm still learning, but he used to be like the equivalent of the head of Fox back in the day, and
Oh, okay.
he was involved in utilities and things. But we're gonna have fun with it.
That's awesome. So no secret rooms or secret heights.
There are secret rooms. So,
Really?
Yeah, so
I'm hoping today. So I know with the shipwreck, that's pretty cool that you're connecting that, because I know that when I went for the lighthouse tour, that's right here, there was a shipwreck that 800 people died in it or something like that because they didn't have the light to go into the water before the lighthouse, and 2 different ships collided, right?
yeah. There's a few of them. There's the one that I like to talk about is the Christmas tree shipwreck, where a ship was coming from Wisconsin to deliver Christmas trees to Chicago, and the weather was bad and it sank. And if you scuba dive, you can actually go see that wreck, and you can still see the Christmas trees on the deck of the boat.
Oh my goodness,
So
that's
we'll have part of one of the things that we do here. We'll have scuba diving trips coming out of a boat from Wilmette, and we'll be able to take guided tours to some of these wrecks. So
that is pretty cool. We definitely want to take part of that. Do you guys want to be part of that? I think that sounds like a lot of fun that you guys are doing that also. So what are some other cool things that that you're connecting history to what you're doing here? So the Shipwreck Coffee, right? You called it? Is that what it is?
correct. Yep.
Okay, and then we got the Harley, I would say Harley Quinn, Harley Clark, right? Yeah. Oh, the beer, because you found the beer recipe behind the walls.
Yep.
Is that what
yeah,
it is?
Yeah. Pre-prohibition era recipes. So everything that you do here, you'll only be able to get at Harley Clark. You won't be able to get Harley Clark beer anywhere else. Now you can. You can get it at for a limited time. We're serving it at a couple of area restaurants. But once we're open for business, you'll only be able to get Harley
Oh,
Clark beer here.
here.
The ice cream that we have will all be proprietary. We'll have bourbon flavored ice cream.
Oh,
You'll only be
wow.
able to get it here.
That's pretty cool for those beer enthusiasts, or what do you call them? Beer. They have a name. I don't even know. I don't. You connoisseurs. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's super cool. So you have much more things happening. What is what is your excitement for? What are you really looking forward to after all of this is said and done?
Well, I tell you what, I think it'll be the same answer that I would give at any of my other affordable housing historic adaptive reuse projects. These projects are hard. Inevitably, like the one in Maywood that was, should have been torn down. About halfway through the project, I looked at myself in the mirror and I'm like, Scott, why do you put yourself through this? I mean, they're hard projects, but it all is worth it at the end. When in that case, the tenants come to move in and there's tears coming down their face because they've never lived in a place so special. And for this place, I'm looking forward to that. All the lives we're going to change, all of the events that we're going to have, it'll be the type of event that they couldn't have anywhere else on this planet. And just to see their faces and their reactions and how their lives have been changed and the stories that get created from it, that's what I'm looking for.
Wow, that's actually really powerful because you said these projects are really hard. So you have to kind of coach yourself through to push yourself through because sometimes do you want to give up? Has that ever happened?
No, I mean, so
You're like,
everything I do has a cause.
Sure.
So what keeps me going is that cause. I think, if I was just renovating the same kind of 3-flat over and over and over, it wouldn't mean anything to me. These are special projects, and that's what drives me through. Kind of like, in a marathon, how you hit the wall.
Yes, I've ran too, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
So that's what gets me through that wall.
Wow, that's a good analogy because sometimes when you hit those walls, you're just like, oh, I don't want to keep going, but you're like, still 4 miles I gotta finish. So yeah, I could totally understand that. So you hit walls here as well. So that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, they think I'm crazy. See what comes out of it, just like I do. So
Yeah.
they're on board.
They're on board. Even though it sounds crazy, they're still all for it. I think sometimes you need individuals that are innovative and they think outside of the box, and everyone's like, what are you doing and why are you doing it? But that's what makes it special, right? And that's what makes things move and change in society or in business. So kudos to you guys for doing this great stuff. She's like, no, him. You saved the house though. You still a big part of it.
We
Yeah.
would not be here without them. So we're very
There
lucky.
you go. That's awesome. So it's everyone played a very important role in getting this project done, right? So that's awesome. So I'm sure you're very proud, especially because you said you brought your kids here, right?
Yeah, my kids are around here all the time. I think the thing is, and maybe I'm mistaken, but it's very much a Evanston thing to all work together and take care of each other. It's very much a Chicago thing, and I think that's what it is. A lot of us worked really, really hard to save this house and put it on the ballot and save it and get it done. And for the last 7-8 years, kind of keep it afloat. And then,
Yeah.
and then the visionary comes and walks in, which is, we're grateful for. I think one of the things for me when you were asking kind of about his vision, when I saw Wonders Never Cease.
Oh, you do have that on the signs.
I think that's one of the things for me about the house, is like the possibilities. There's just, it seems endless at this point where, when you were asking about the family, like our families still have PTSD. If I say, I'm going over to Harley Clark, my family's like, whoa, they go back 7 years. No. But I think, that's the attitude that's been brought in, is that wonders never cease, full of possibilities, anything is possible. And I think it's huge. I think it's
Yeah.
huge. And it's about community.
That's great, providing a space for the community in a beautiful space next to the lake, right on the north side. Well, say North Chicago, it's not Chicago, but you know what I mean. It feels like it's part of Chicago because it's just down the street. I love Evanston. I love the beaches too, which is great, right? And it's Lighthouse Beach. The lighthouse is great. Even the gardens, they're beautiful, right? So I think this is like a hidden gem that people just need to come and visit. So I'm sure it's going to just bring so much more liveliness to Evanston area for sure. So I'm sure you guys are super excited. to this project?
Gosh, I guess I'll close with how I closed at our fish boil. You know, if you're an naysayer or if you're not sure that this is the best use for this mansion, I say once we're done, come try it out. And I think that you'll find yourself wondering at any given day after that first experience, I wonder what's going on at heart. Won't be disappointed. So wonders never cease.
Wonders never in regards to this project?
No, we're just super excited. Spring 2027 can't go, and a toast to the opening and the excitement and the 100-year anniversary of this house. I mean, it's
And then when the house is done, right now the next project set.
hoping to continue working with Celadon once the house is open. We didn't know it, but we actually have a relationship in the community, obviously. So we're hoping to help you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Here, private tour. I'm super and everyone watching and listening. Thank you so much for being with 1410. WRMN1410.com to check them out, or you can go to my website. Thank you so much. Super appreciative of you guys doing this. This has been just the experience alone has been fun. So
Come back in 12 months.
I will be here. I'll be definitely here. And if we're the ones that might, if we do the documentary for you, maybe we'll get some Illinois media students out here to support. That'll be a lot of fun. All righty then. Sounds good, you guys. So make sure you guys stay tuned, keep watching, and don't touch that dial. Thank you so much.
Are you dreaming of a getaway? Want to leave the stress of daily life behind? Whether it's a relaxing cruise or an adventurous land escape, planning the perfect vacation doesn't have to be a hassle. At Cruises International, they specialize in vacation destinations, land and sea, making your dreams come true. Located at 1721 Moon Lake Boulevard in Hoffman Estates, Cruises International isn't just about booking travel. They're your personal concierge, trusted travel advisor, and advocate. Your preferences are unique, and they'll take the time to understand exactly what you're looking for. From personalized service to their global network of specialists, they ensure that your vacation is tailor-made just for you. It's time to plan the vacation of a lifetime. Call 800-255-7447. That's 800-255-7447 today and speak to a cruise and vacation expert. Cruises International. It's time to set sail to your dream destination.